Shalom, shalom. So I thought it would be wise to do this video while the residue of the word was on my mind before I forgot. I was sitting here and I was pondering on the word, as I do usually. And it was brought to my attention that a lot of the church today are only living by half of the book. And this was the very thing that was present in the garden, when the serpent beguiled the woman and the woman beguiled the man, that he imparted only half truth. And so that's the very thing that we're seeing today, in the church, is that they're only giving you half truth, even promoting that, the Old Testament is done away with, and, just start in the New Testament. But when you go read all the books of the Brit Hadashah, or the epistles of the apostles, they all refer and point back to the Torah, which I continue to reinforce that the Torah was Yahusha. Yahusha was the word of the Most High, Yahuwah. And so as I began to ponder on this word, I began to think about James, because, a lot of the church, they like to, say, point to the New Testament. And so as I began to ponder on James, James said that faith without works is dead, is what he said. And so as I was pondering, I was getting revelation that is pointing back to and reinforcing the Ten Commandments, reinforcing the Torah. And so, if you know the Ten Commandments and also includes the laws, the statutes, and the ordinances. And so, as James said, faith without works is dead. It's evident that the church today, they do the work. They do the work to a certain extent. But they don't keep the faith. See, the faith is the most important part, because you can't have the works without the faith. The works are a shadow of the faith, because without understanding the faith, then you cannot understand the works. And so as I was taught coming up, in the school of prophets, which was the Christian church, that's where I began and learned and, and got my studies, basically, going on to become, to proclaim my inheritance. The Most High said in Exodus 20, I think it's 20:5, thou shalt have no other God before me. That's the first commandment. And so we see that there are many gods. You have the fallen. You have these devils. We sacrifice to the devils when we're eating these foods that we're not supposed to be eating. And then sometimes we make ourselves God. You know what I mean? And putting ourselves before God and saying that, that we are our own, basically, and we made ourselves, and that we're not accountable to anyone or anybody or anything. And so then the second commandment is thou shalt make no graven images. And so the third commandment is thou shalt not take the Most High's name in vain. And what that means is, how can you say you serve God and you don't keep his commandments? You don't keep his word. That is taking the Most High's name in vain. When you proclaim that you love God and you serve God and you living for God, but you're not keeping his word, you're taking his name in vain, because then people look at you as looking at you as an example in the earth, emulating the Yahushua HaMashiach. I remember when they had that "What would Jesus do?" A lot of people ain't doing what Jesus would do. They just, a lot of people have relinquished or have given up their principles for money. And so the fourth commandment was to keep the Sabbath and keep it holy. What does that mean? The Sabbath is all of the statutes in the ordinances. That is the Sabbath. And on the Sabbath day he rests, meaning he taught. That's why it said in Genesis 1 that he would come down in the cool of the day. Because in the cool of the day, on the Sabbath day, he would come down and he would teach man what was required of him. And it was for man to teach the woman and the woman to teach the children. But that's another subject. But anyway, what I'm saying is that, faith without works is dead. That is the faith. The first 4 commandments is the faith. And then the last 6 commandments is the works. Because you are supposed to honor thy father and thy mother. That is a work, to honor your father and your mother. Not to commit adultery. That is a work. Because there is temptation in the earth, and you have to make sure that, with all the perverseness in this earth today, that you are not following in the path of the world. Sleeping with somebody else's wife or sleeping with someone else's woman. A lot of these females, they be having dudes and still be trying to holler at you. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. And you be having to just, because it's temptation. And you could go about it, but, when you stand on the faith, stand on the laws, the statutes, and commandments, you don't cross those boundaries. Thou shalt not, it says rob. So you don't go out here and rob and take from people and steal from people. It says, thou shalt not bear false witness. You're not out here gossiping and, spreading rumors and saying things about people you don't know nothing about. You ain't in everybody's business. Thou shalt not covet. That's where jealousy comes from. That is covetousness. Because we become jealous of what other people got, other people's gifts, other people's cars, and other people's houses, other people's wives, other people's businesses. That is covetousness, jealousy, lust. Thou shalt not murder. When Yahushua HaMashiach came, he said, just if a man hate his brother in his heart, that is murder. That's where murder comes from, is hate. Hate. That's what we would call, that's why we call them haters. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say that, haters. All these haters around here. They'll hate you in their heart, and that leads to murder. Hate you for your the excellent spirit that's in you that God gave you, that Yahuwah Elohim gave you, because you sought him and not the world. So they'll hate you for that. Just like Yahusha's are who they call Joseph's brothers hated him. And it's the same instance. They hated him because he was close to his father. And so that is faith without works. So you can't have the works and not have the faith. And I'm gonna say this, man. A lot of y'all better come up out of that church, man. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ugly. It's really been getting ugly. The Most High has been giving us warnings. Been giving people warnings. And telling them to come out of this false religion. And I really don't want to say too much on that, because a lot of people, they get offended, when the truth comes forward. But I might do a video on it. But yeah, y'all better come out of that church, man. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is finna bring that church down. Bring that harlot, that whore down. We already see these things. With Jakes, we see these things with just down there at Lakewood, with the shooting that happened in Lakewood. And that that doesn't go to say about all the shootings that happened in those black churches before these shootings. The Most High is warning you to come out. But if you don't listen, that's up to you. But like I say, faith without works is dead. You can't have one without the other. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible to have works, because you can't get in by works alone. You got but you can get in by faith though. You can get in by faith without the works though. You know what I'm saying? Because if you keeping the faith, the works is gonna follow. And so that is given a proper understanding of what James meant when he said faith without works is dead. Because you can pay your tithes all you want. I keep saying this time and time again. God cannot, Yahuwah Elohim cannot be bribed, and for you to think that he can, it is folly and foolishness. Because the Most High cannot be bribed, and the Most High don't take no kickbacks. And this is what people think, that they think that they can live any kind of way, Monday through Saturday, really Monday through Saturday, and then on Sunday, which is really the worship of the sun god, and go in and ask God for forgiveness. You ain't even keeping the right day. And you think that you know what I'm saying, you that you bless, because they have given us this prosperity gospel, and you don't have to live nothing, and all you have to do is pay your tithes and give here and there to people, and God is gonna take care of you. No, God is not mocked. You have to live this thing. You have to walk this path, the straight and narrow. And that is what is required of you. So I just thought I would let that be known. Shalom, peace, and blessings. Like, share, and subscribe. And be blessed.